Major Jared Struck, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
You're an active Air Force major, and you do what at Maxwell Air Force Base?
Right now I'm an instructor at AU, so I'm working at SOS instructing the captain's course they have there.
You are considered an elite athlete, an ultra-marathoner. Tell me how you got into running ultra-marathons and what are they?
Okay, so I got into ultra-marathoning. I guess you got to go back to when I got into running marathons in the first place. It was 2005. I was really out of shape. Unfortunately, smoked a lot of cigarettes, and I like to drink a lot of beer and eat a lot of fast food. So a lot of negative trends there that weren't necessarily the best.
So how long had you been a smoker?
For about 5 years at the time. So looking in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw. So I got into I decided I've always wanted to run a marathon. And I signed up for one later that year in about, it was 9 months until the marathon. So I signed up for it, put it on the calendar, and decided to, quit some of those bad habits so I could run the marathon.
So you've been running for some 14 years now, and you transitioned from just marathons to ultra marathons. Explain the difference.
So an ultra marathon is anything over 26.2. So a marathon is 26.2 miles. Anything past that is considered an ultra marathon.
You are getting ready for a big race a couple of weeks from now. What is that?
Absolutely. So in 2 weeks, I'll be running the Badwater 135, which is known as the world's toughest foot race. It's 135 miles up and over 2 major mountain passes and finishes on the 3rd mountain pass. It's, again, 135 miles through Death Valley in the middle of summer. So temperatures will get up to 122 degrees. So it's going to be a scorcher.
Now, of course, you've been used to hot weather living here in Central and South Alabama, but this is a different ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. So Alabama has not let me down for great temperatures to practice for this race.
Well, Jared, have you been running up mountains in preparation for this?
So no big mountains that big. I'll tell you, like the first, all 3 of these climbs are over 13 miles long each. So that's a lot of long grinding climbs, and there's not anything like that around here. So what I've been doing is a lot of time in the neighborhood pulling a tire behind me in the heat of the day. So if anybody's listening from my neighborhood, I apologize. I'll stop doing that as soon as the race is over.
This isn't your first go-round in this Badwater 135 race.
Yeah, that's correct. I ran it in 2016, and I was lucky enough to finish it in 39 hours.
But you have to be invited. You are in the 100-miler club or 100-mile club. What is that?
So, yeah, just the fact that I have finished a 100-mile race, that gets me a buckle, and that gets me into this club.
This Badwater race, you don't really associate much water with Death Valley, California.
Yeah, there is not much water there, and you definitely don't want to drink the water that is at Badwater. But I'll have a crew with me throughout the race. So they will be able to prepare me and get me all the kind of good water that I actually need to succeed at this thing.
Jared, your goal is not simply fitness. You have another goal, a goal of your heart. What is that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm running this time as a journey for One Place Family Justice Center, and that's here in Montgomery. And it is a great organization. I'm proud that they took me on and let me run for them to raise money for their organization.
And give us just a bit about what they do.
Yeah, so One Place Family Justice Center deals with domestic abuse, sexual assault cases, and they're able to take care of a victim when they come in and take care of them all under one roof. They have legal help for the victim. They have police in there. They have nurses in there, as well as counselors. So they're able to take the victim in at under one roof and be able to take care of them and do all these things for the victim.
So your race is actually going to draw attention to what their mission is.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that, a lot more people understood what One Place does and what they're all about.
Let's get into the race itself. What's involved? And you mentioned a support team. What do they do?
Yeah, so I'll have a 3-person support team. The one person is the crew chief and kind of the driver. That's going to be my wife, Angela. So she's kind of vested. She has vested interest in, she's out there to make sure I don't die and to drive the car along with me. And she's done a lot of these with me, so she understands some of the major signs if something bad is going on. The other 2 crew members that are going to be helping her out are both pacers. And after mile 40, I'll be allowed to have one of those pacers at a time out on the road with me. So they'll take turns being out, helping me out, and they'll have radio contact with the vehicle as well.
Do you ever take a break?
Very, very few breaks in this race. So I will take breaks to do any type of medical support for my feet, because that is something that'll stop you quite a bit and slow you down if your feet get blistered and injured in any way. And then there'll be a couple planned breaks where I plan to eat a meal, sit down and eat a meal throughout the course. But for the more you sit, the slower your time's going to be. So you gotta keep moving.
Now, you're allowed to do this race in 48 hours, and yet you've done it before, and what was your time then?
Just over 39 hours.
So what's your goal this year?
My goal is to beat that one. So I want to be under 39 hours.
Your listeners and your viewers, Jared, are wondering what in the world you think about during, say, a 40-hour race. How do you keep your mind sharp and proactive?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things going through your mind out there on that race. The one thing you don't want to think about is stopping and quitting. Other than that, you can think about anything else you want to think about. So a lot of time I spend on kind of this goal setting. Making those small milestone goals of, okay, I'm going to get to 10 miles, I'm going to get to 20 miles. And at some point those milestone goals come to the point where you're talking about, maybe I can make 10 more steps, 20 more steps, really short goals, but spend a lot of time out there thinking about that. And in Death Valley, a lot of the time thinking about how gorgeous that place is, because it really is a beautiful place to be in.
But what a tough environment.
Absolutely.
Tell me about this approach, these short-term goals. Does that carry over into life?
Yeah, absolutely. So, anytime you set out on whatever that big time goal is, you can't set that one milestone as that's it and then your goal is complete, right? If you have a long-term goal, you have to set up shorter goals, intermediate goals, to make sure that you're lined up to get where you need to be at the end.
Those who are listening to you are also wondering about nutrition. What do you do for nutrition, and how does it translate in your regular life?
Yeah, so pre-race, a lot of carbs. Try to get not as many, but quite a few carbs, high carb diet before the race. Or before big runs. After big runs, I try to do a lot of protein, so a lot of meats, cheeses, stuff like that to let your body rebuild. Use that protein to help rebuild. But I have to admit that I cheat a lot, so I like to run so I can eat ice cream and snacks sometimes. So
any nutritional advice you might have to keep your joints strong?
Yeah, absolutely. So check out the nutrition supplements. I've been on knee or joint supplements for over 10 years. I've been taking joint supplements, and knock on wood, I've been having really good luck with good knees up to this point.
So what's your ultimate goal as a runner?
So yeah, my ultimate goal is at some point probably after I retire, I want to try to make it across the United States.
And what's your advice to your listeners and your viewers?
Yeah, so my advice to anybody listening is, if you do have a goal, it may not be to do the Badwater 135 or run across the United States, but whatever that goal is, get out there now and start working towards it. If your goal is a 5K, get off the couch today and go run a quarter of a mile, go run a half a mile, do what you can now, and then work your way slowly up towards that goal.
Jared, is there any way that people can follow you on this run?
Yes, absolutely. So the one place, www.oneplacefjc.org, is going to post a tracker to where everybody is able to track me and see exactly where I'm at. I'll be wearing a GPS tracking device, and you'll be able to see exactly where I'm at in the course, and figure out if I'm sitting too long, if I'm taking too long of a break. Maybe we could figure out a way that you could send me a note and tell me, you're taking too long, keep going.
I want to wish you the best of success with no encounters with mountain lions.
Okay.
And I want to ask you, can you come back after the race and tell us how it was?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take good notes, and maybe we can get one of the crew members in here, and they can tell their side of the story too.
I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And the best of success to you.
Awesome. Appreciate it.